let's do this problem to show you how can you show your work and how can you use Statcrunch to solve this problem. Suppose that in the final test you have this problem and you cannot access Statcrunch or you cannot access Excel and you have a cheap calculator to do this problem. We have a random sample shown below was selected from a normal distribution. That information is very important. My population is normal distributed. That information is very important when my sample size is smaller than 30. In this case, my sample size is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units, 6 observations only. It's very small. For that reason, that information normally distributed is so important because we can use t-student distribution to solve this problem when the population is normally distributed, the sample size is small, and we don't know the standard deviation of the population. Then in this case, let's use t-distribution to solve this problem. Then I know that my population was normal and we want to estimate the mean. We select a sample of only 6 observations and these values were 766, 766, 944. Then the first step is to find the mean and the standard deviation for this sample. The mean for this sample is the sum of each value divided by my sample size. We need to sum all of this value. We need to sum 6 plus 7 plus until 4 divided by 6, and that is equal 10, 20, 29, 36 divided by 6. This is equal 6. Then my sample's mean is 6. And how can we obtain the standard deviation? The standard deviation is obtained using this formula. Each value minus the mean squared divided by n minus 1. But if you cannot access Excel to do this operation, I strongly recommend use this shortcut formula. N, the sum of all x squared minus the sum of all x, all of this value squared, divided by m times n minus 1. Then, if you have a cheap calculator, you can obtain all squares here. The square of 70, of 7 is 49, 36, 36, 81, 16, and 16. Remember, if you add all of this value, the sum was 36. But if you add all of these values, then the sum should be 49 plus 36 plus 36 plus 81 plus 16 plus 16. This value is 234. 234. Then we are going to substitute the sum of all x squared here and the sum of all x here, but we need to square this quantity. Then we need to compute all of these values. N is 6. The sum of all x squared is 234 minus the sum of all x is 36, but I need to square this quantity divided by n times n minus 1, which is 5. Then when we compute this quantity, we obtain 1.8973. Then let's round this decimal, the 5th decimal. I don't know how many decimals we need at the end, but that is the standard deviation. Then my confidence interval, in this case, the problem is requesting 90% confidence interval. 90% confidence interval for the mean. The formula is x bar plus or minus the error, remember, huh? And the formula for the error in this case, because my sample size is smaller than 30, I have to use t-student, and also the standard deviation of the population is unknown. We have to use the standard deviation of my sample. Then the confidence interval is given by t alpha half, the standard deviation of my sample divided by a square root of n. And how can we obtain this critical value? Remember, in the t-distribution, the t-distribution of all samples mean obtained from this population, 90% of all samples are located between these 2 points in the t-distribution. How can we find this critical value? The critical value are negative T alpha half, and this is a positive T alpha half. Then this T alpha half, in the table, if we want 90% confidence interval, we have to go in my table for T student. In this column, we need to find the degree of freedom. The degree of freedom of the distribution is given by n minus 1. In this case, is equal 6 minus 1 is 5. I have to enter in that table through 5 degrees of freedom. And what is the area in this tail? The area in this tail should be 5%. Why 5%? Because this other one should be another 5%, and the total area under the curve is 100%. Then in this row, we need to find the area on the tail, 0.05, 0.05. In two tail, 0.10, and in the middle, 0.90. Then the intersection of this column and row in the T student distribution for degree of freedom 5 is 2.015. Then that is the value that we need here. That is my critical value. Then my confidence interval is given by my samples mean, which was 6, my critical value, which is 2.015, the standard deviation of my sample, which is 1.89737, and the square root of 6. When we compute this quantity, the error is given by this expression, 2.015 times 1.89737 divided by square root of 6. Enter. The error is 1.5608 for decimal. Let's use another decimal. Let's round it to 2. Then my confidence interval is 6 minus this quantity, 6 minus 1.56082, which is 4.43918, and 6 plus this is 7.56082. If we need to round to only two decimals, we can write 4.44 and 7.56. That is my confidence interval. Then, how can we use Statcrunch to solve this problem very quick? Then let's go to Statcrunch. We have already the data. Then we have to select stat, and here we have to select tstat. This function will be used in this chapter and in the next chapter, chapter 8. And we have only one sample, and we have the data, not the summary. We have the data because the data was given 6 values, and my data is located in variable 1. And this is optional, this is optional. We are going to use this in the next chapter and in this chapter confidence interval. And my confidence interval requested was 90% confidence interval. Let's verify it. For exactly was 90% confidence interval. The only thing that we have to do is compute, and we can observe here my result. The lower confidence interval is 4.439 and the upper confidence interval is 7.56. The standard error is 0.76. The samples mean was 6, and that is the way you can obtain the answer of this problem in less than 30 seconds, in approximately 50 seconds. It's very easy in Statcrunch, but remember, you have to show your work. You have to show your work in the way that I did it, using formulas and table. Thank you very much.